So the question is November 2020. November 2020, question 1C. This question is on what we call single stage decision. It's on what we call single stage decision. So the examiner has already given us the payoff table. So we are not going to redraw the payoff table. So straight on, we are told to use the expected monetary value rule. Expected monetary value rule. Expected monetary value rule. We have the option here, and then expected monetary value without information. Expected monetary value without information. So the first one is full booking. So we just call it full. Now the full booking, no, that's not the option. The options are bed only, bed and breakfast, and the full boat. So the first option is bed only. So for bed only, we are working with figures being in millions. It is going to be 24 times 0.3 plus 48 times 0.5 plus 6 times 0.2. Work out that, give me the answer. What is the answer here? That's 2.4. Let us do the same for the next one, which is bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast. And breakfast. It is 90 times 0.3 plus 44 times 0.5 plus 8 times 0.2. 50.6. Then we get full board. Full board. Now full board is 16 times 0.3 plus 28 times 0.5 plus 18 times 0.2, 22.4. Now in this rule, when we are using this rule, we go for the highest. When we are using this rule, we go for the highest. So the highest is this one. So we are going to advise them. We are going to advise that they go for the bed and breakfast. It is bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast. That is what we are going to advise that they go for. Bed and breakfast. The next is expected opportunity loss. Expected opportunity loss rule, the EOL. Now this method requires that you create a table. Requires that you create a table called opportunity losses. Some people call it regrets table. Regrets table. Regrets table. table. So this side we have the option, and this side we have the outcome. The option and the outcome. So we start with the option. The first option is bed only. The second one is bed and breakfasts. Bed and breakfasts. Bed and breakfasts. The next one is full board. The next one is full board. So the first outcome is full booking. Full booking. So what you do, you go to the outcome called full booking. When you are in the outcome called full booking, you pick the best payoff or the highest payoff. Ukifuata full booking, the highest is what? 90. So that 90 you record it here, here, and here. Then you start subtracting the others. So in bed only, this is 24. The other one is 90. This other one is 16. So 90 minus 24, 66. 90 minus 90, 0. 90 minus 16, 74. 74. That is full booking. We go to the next one, moderate booking. Moderate booking. Moderate booking. Moderate booking, you also do the same. Look at the payoffs in the moderate booking and tell me the highest of all is what? 48. So that 48, you record it here and here. Then you start subtracting the others. So we will subtract 48, then followed by 44, then followed by what? 28. So 48 minus 48 we get 0. 48 minus 44 we get 4. And 28 minus, or rather 48 minus 28 we get what? 20. The next one is called row booking. Row booking. Row booking is, where's Christine? Welcome. So go to row booking. The highest of all is what? 18. So 18. So you minus what? 6 minus 8 minus 18. So this one becomes what? 12, 10, 0. So that is the regrets or the opportunity loss system. Now, below that, you extract now You extract the option here, and then you give us the expected opportunity loss. The expected opportunity loss. The expected opportunity loss. So sasa, the first option is bed only. Bed only. Bed only. So if you want a bed only, the first opportunity cost is 66 when we are in food booking, and the probability of food booking is 0.3 plus 0 when we are in moderate, and the probability of moderate is 0.5. Hiyo ingine ni 12 when we are in low booking, and the probability is 0.2. Aya, hiyo ingine ni bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast. We have 0 with a probability of 0.3 plus 4 with a probability of 0.5 plus 10 with a probability of 0.2. 4. The next is called full board. Full board. So full board is 74 times 0.3 plus 20 times 0.5 plus 0 times 0.2. You get what? Huh? That's 2.2. So when you're dealing with losses, you obviously then go for the smallest. We pick the smallest, it's 1. So we then advise them. The advice is they should go for bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast is what they should go for. A research company has offered to give more insight to the hotel management on the likely booking situation that might arise. Determine the amount the hotel should pay for the research. So, amount to pay. Amount to pay should be equal to value of information. Should be equal to value of information. The amount to pay should be equal to value of information. There are 2 formulas that we use to get value of information. There are 2 formulas that we use to get value of information. So the first formula is the lowest EOL. The lowest EOL. So in this case, it is shillings 4 million. Because our figures were in millions. Eh? Yeah, that's the answer. Yes. They're using the approach. If already you have computed this one, okay. If already you have computed the expected opportunity losses, the smallest is there, is the value information. Yeah, that's simple as that. But kama huko umetengeneza hii table, if you had not tengeneza this one, the other way of getting it, alternative way, value of information is given as expected monetary value with information, expected monetary value with information minus best EMV without information. EMV with information minus best EMV without information. So the EMV with, you go to each outcome. Like tukianzia kwa full booking. Full booking, the highest is 90. And it has a probability of 0.3. You just go picking the highest payoff. Ukienda kwa moderate booking, the highest is 48 with a probability of 0.5. Ukienda kwa low booking, the highest is 18 with a probability of 0.2. Minus uende kwa zile EMVs tulikuwa tumecompute without information. The best or the highest unapata. It was 50.6. Now work out and tell me whether the answer will be 4. Yes. So those are the two ways in which you can get it. So kama hujatengeneza hiyo tipo ya opportunity losses, unatumia hiyo approach. Lakini kama already umeshatengeneza na umecompute the expected opportunities, the lowest is the value of information. The value of information. The value of information. Just a minute. So I was saying, rather now we have answered that question fully. But because we are doing revision, I would want to use the question to remind you of the other issues that surround the SQL stage. That's around the SQL stage. The next issue that I would like us to remember is called max rule. Max rule. Max rule. So when you're given max rule, you extract the see that these are two words. So when interpreting statements in mathematics, you start from the reverse. So you start with this one. So we extract the max. So maximum payoff. Maximum payoff. So we have bed on rate. So angalia hizo za bed on rate and tell me what is the highest for bed on rate. 48. Here again, bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast. And the bed and breakfast, the highest is 90. Then at the full board, this 28. So this option now, ukisha extract the first, then unachagua now the first, the maximum of the maximums. So the maximum of the maximums is this one. So you will advise them that they go for bed and breakfast. They go for bed and breakfast. The next one is minimax. Minimax regret. Rule. Minimax regret rule. Minimax regret rule. So you have the option here, and then just like to the same one, you extract the second one. You extract the second. So the second is the maximum regret. Maximum regret. Maximum regret. So we have bed on. Then we have bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast. Then we have full boat. We have full boat. So when you see the word regret, that goes to the opportunity loss system. Opportunity loss is table. So let's go to the opportunity loss is table. And what a bed on rate, you pick the maximum regret. The maximum value that you have 66. I have our bed and breakfast on rate. 10. Now for full board 74. 74. So Sasa, this one again says you go for the minimum of the maximums. So the minimum of the maximums is this one. So the advice is that they should go for bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast. Okay. The next rule that you can easily come across is called Rapley's rule. Rapley's rule. So Rapley's rule. So Rapley's rule, we have the option here. And then we have something we call simple average payoff. Simple average payoff. So when we start with bet on rate, you got where we have bet in the original table, in the original payoff. Give me the payoffs for bet on rate. We have 24 plus 48 plus 6. Now you add them, you divide by 3. You add them, then divide by 3. $26. Then you give a bed and breakfasts. We have what? 90 plus 44 plus 8. You divide by 3. 71. Then full board 16, 28, 18. You divide this by 3. 20.67. 20.67, that is the last place. So this one, unachagua the highest again. So the highest happened in 71. The highest is 71. So the advice is that you should go for bed and breakfast. You should go for bed and breakfast. You should go for bed and breakfast. The next one is called Howick's rule. Howick's rule. Now the Howick's rule. Howick's rule. Howick's rule. So in the Howick's rule, the question on the examiner should have provided what we call the alpha. So now that's not provided, we assume. So we'll say let alpha to be 0.7. So that one is assumed. So once you assume that, you will have the option here. You will have the option. Then you get alpha times the best payoff. Best payoff plus 1 minus alpha times worst payoff. Worst payoff times the worst payoff. And that gives you what we call weighted average payoff. Weighted average payoff. Weighted average payoff. Weighted average payoff. So we start with bed on ray. Bed on ray. So with bed on ray, alpha is 0.7. The best square bed is what? Is 48. Eh? That's it. So the 48. And the worst is, or the smallest square bed on ray is 6. At 5.2. 0.4. Okay. Then bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast is 0.7 multiplied by the best is what? 90 plus the worst there is 8. 65.2. 65.4. Haya, huyo mwingine ni full board. Full board. So full board is 0.7 times the best. The best there is what? 28 plus 0.3 times 16. 24.4. So even this one, you go for the highest. You go for the highest. So the highest is this, and therefore we shall offer our advice that they should go for bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast. So that is what I wanted to do as far as the sequels are concerned. Tell me whether we solved May 2017. Question 1A. Whether it is in your notes. Is it? Check what is some decision making. Okay, so then we can do that. May 2017, question 1A. May 2017, question 1A. So we can ask Adam to read for us. Thank you, that's good. That's good. So that question of May 2017, May 2017, question 1A, is on what we call multiple stage decision. Multiple stage decision. And in the multiple stage decision, now how do you first of all know that the question is single or multiple? The surest way is checking how many sets of probabilities are there. And when I talk of a set, I refer to probabilities that add to 1. I want you to refer back to the question we have just concluded. The question of 2020. If you look at that question, you can see there is only one set of probabilities, the 0.3, the 0.5, and the 0.2. So it's just one. That's why it's called C. Now, if you refer to the one that we are now handling, if you refer to the one that we are dealing with, you can see there is the 70%, the 30%, that is one. So then there is a 60, there is another 25. Actually, 60 is on its own. It's another one. There should be a 40 somewhere. Then the 25 is also a different one. So here's one equal to 3 sets. So if the question has more than one set, that is a multiple. But kama ni moja, that is. Na kama ni multiple, you use a decision tree. You use a decision tree. So what now we are debating here is whether we should advertise or we should not advertise. So I told you these kind of questions, you start by coming up with a sketch. You start by coming up with a sketch. So we are saying, we are debating on whether we advertise or not advertise. We advertise or not advertise. Then there is the issue of the weather. The weather is good or bad. Or they are beginning with what? The weather is poor or good. Poor or good. Then if the concert is advertised and the weather is poor, the advertising will stimulate demand. So if you have advertised, you either stimulate or there is no stimulation. The same case here, you stimulate or there is no stimulation. I think that is all. So if that is the case, we are able to know how many tails we will have. The tails, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are going to do a tree that has 6 tails. So I told you what to do. You estimate the end of your page where you want the tree to go up to. The tree to go up to. So when you know you want it to go up to where, now here you have the base. Then we get 6 tails. So we are debating on, we make an advert, and that advert will cost how much? According to question 1, it is, we can work with millions, eh? We can work with the figures in millions. So here, we wake up. Then, no adverts. No adverts. When there is no adverts, that remains. The next thing is the weather is either poor or what? Good. The weather is poor or good. The weather is poor or good. So if the weather is poor, according to the first bullet, the probability without advertising. If the weather is poor, it is expected 5,000 tickets will be sold without advertising, and there is a 70% chance that it will be poor. So here, we are at 0.7, and therefore it means being good is 0.3. And we are told here you will sell 5,000 tickets. 5,000 tickets. According to bullet 2, we are told if the weather is good, it is expected that 10,000 tickets will be sold without advertising. 10,000 tickets. So here it is 10,000 tickets without advertising. Without advertising. Then from there, bullet number 3, if the concert is advertised and the weather is poor, you advertise and it is poor, there is a 60% chance that advertising will stimulate demand and sales will be 7,000. So first of all, let's put the probabilities of poor here, 0.7 and 0.3 here. So if you are told that you stimulate and increase to 7,000 tickets, so here it is 7,000 tickets, and the probability is 0.6. The opposite of that is that there will be no change. And if there will be no change in Kumanisha, even after you advertise, it is like you have no advertise. You have no advertise. When Or where, when you did not advertise and the weather was poor, you sold what? 5,000. So here we will then sell 5,000 tickets with a probability of 0.4. With a probability of 0.4. Then tunaambiwa if the concert is advertised and the weather is good, there is 25% chance that advertising will stimulate demand. And ticket sales will increase to 13,000. So if you increase, it is going to 13,000 tickets, and it's going to 13,000 tickets from where? From the 10. You see, when there was no advert, it was 10. So it is 10,000 tickets. 10,000 tickets. And with that, the probability is 0.25. And then this one is 0.75. From there, sasa tunaambiwa that if you have sold 7,000, the payoff is 35. If it is 5,000, it's a loss of 20. If it is 13, it is 150. If it is 10, you have 90. If it is 5 is minus 20. Then 10 becomes 90. So now let's get to work out the EMVs. Computation of EMV at node, EMV at node 101. So for one, I told you, you check which lines are going out. So these lines are complete. So they are complete, you multiply. So it is 0.6 multiplied by that 5 plus 0.4 multiplied by minus 20. And because the line coming in has no cost, we just get the answer straight. Yeah, 13. Then we go to number 2. Number 2, it is also a case of multiplying 0.25 times 150 plus 0.75 times 90. 105. Number 3, it is also a case of multiplying 0.7 times what we have in number 1, 13. 0.3 times what we have in number 2, 105. But you can see that one is bringing in a cost here. Is 15. So we must subtract 15. 25.6. Then number 4. Number 4 is 0.7 multiplied by minus 20 plus 0.3 multiplied by 90. Huh? 13. Number 5. In number 5, yes, Christine, I can see those ones. Good. Number 5, it is a case of selection because the lines are incomplete. So we will go for the higher value, the higher EMV at number 3 and 4. At number 3 and 4, that is 25.6. The higher at that. So your 25 imepatikana kwa number 3, so you mark here that way. And therefore, based on that, you advise that they should advertise. They should advertise the concept. They should advertise the concept. And if someone was to ask you to compute value of information, if you are to be asked to compute value of information, unlike in the SIGOs where we use the formula direct, here the formula is used indirect. The indirect use is simply this. Where we have made the decision here, we have compared 2 things, or there are 7. Tukachukua the highest. So unachukuanga the highest and the second highest at this point. So here, because there were 2, we compare here. So the higher is 25.6. Now here again is 13. So you simply get the difference. Simply get the difference. Okay. So I think that is good. So let's go to November 2017, question 4A. Sylvia, you can read for us.
People use it is running from production in order to all the introduction of new prices of the product market service and the information is obtained from the center of possible saving prices and the achievements of the information is
Thank you, that's good. So again, you can see there are two sets of probabilities. So it is multiple. And if there are two, we are debating on two things. The price of 300 and the price of what? 350. Then for each of the prices, there are three possibilities of demand. There are three possibilities of demand. Sasa, this one has not given us the payoffs direct. So lazima tutafute. But we know so well how to go about it, that our payoff obviously will be the selling price minus the variable cost. Tuko na variable cost, tuko na variable cost, which is given, tuko na hiyo 120 na tuko na 110. All the others are fixed cost. All the others are fixed costs. So fixed cost, they are best put for 3. They are best put okay. So once again, we come and determine our tree itafika mpaka wapi. And where we wanted to get up to, our tree itafika hapa. And the payoff here we will have units sold we will have the payoff here. I want to see how I can summarize it. If my tree will get up to here, I will need a column for units sold. I will need a column of units made. And if this one I call it A, and this one I call it B, my payoff here, I will get it as A times price minus B times costs, the variable cost. Let me modify that. Let me modify that so that it is a little bit clearer. Selling price, which I want to call C, instead of just saying price, then unit variable costs. Unit variable costs, which I want to call D. Then my payoff will be A times C minus B times D. Good. I think that is now more clearer. So my decision tree This is number 3. So I think we are good there. We can start. Now, because tushaweka a lot of words iko, hapa hatutaweka maneno mingi. So for the price, just put 300 here. And here 350. Then for the units, I want us to put them in thousands. Hapa weka 120, 110, 140 with probabilities of 0.4, 0.5, and 0.1. Hapa weka 108, 100, 94 with probabilities of 0.3, 0.3, and 0.4. So there is no need of putting a lot of words because those figures are the same we are going to bring here. So for the units sold, they are just the ones you have put here. So this is 120, this is 110, this is 140, this is 108, this is 100, and this is 94. Actually, there was no need of putting this one for the units. I should have just said units, but it's still okay because they are not different. There are no differences in what was produced and what was sold. But now that already we have, we proceed that way. The selling price, the first 6, the selling price for the first 3, 300, 300, 300. Then this other one is 350, 350, and 350. Then for the variable cost, we have 2 of them, 110 and 120. At 120, it is for productions up to and including 100. However, if production exceeds 100, the variable cost will be 110. So this one is more than 100, so it is 110. This is also more. This is also more. This is also more. But this one now will be 120, and this one will be 120 because they are up to 100. So to work calculator, we start working. Ya kwanza ni 22,800. Uh-huh. 2,900. The next one is 300 minus 110 times 140. You're getting 26,600. And the next one is 350 minus 110 times 108. 25,920. The next one is 350 minus 120 times 100. 23,000. The next one is 350 minus 120 times 94. Is 21,620. Confirmed? Good. So let's now record the fixed cost. Fixed costs are usually recorded here instead of copying them again here. So there are two types of fixed costs. There is the advertising cost, which is 9 million and 9.7, depending on the price, and there is the production. Is the production. So if you take 9 million, that's because our figures here in thousands, but you are 9,000 plus 4,500. That is 13,500. That's all. Now, sasa here you record it at the price of 300. 13,500, and you put it in brackets. 13,500, and you put it in brackets that way. Then the other one, 9. If you put 9,700 plus 4,500, that gives you 14,200. 14,200. 14,200. Okay. So below that, now we can have the workings. So EMV as node 1. EMV at node 1. You can see node 1, it is having complete lines. So we are going to say 0.4 times 22,800 plus 0.5 times 2,900 plus 0.1 times 26,600. Then you minus. You see now it's coming in with our cost. This one minus 13,500. Minus 13,500. So 0.4 times 22,800 plus 0.5 times 2,900 plus 0.1 times 26,600 minus 13,500. 87.30. EMV at number 2. EMV at number 2. Yes, Christine, good. At number 2, it is 0.3 times 25,920 plus 0.3 times 23,000 plus 0.4 times 21,620 minus 14,200. Mm-hmm. 912. Oh, 9124. EMV at number 3. EMV at number 3. It is the higher. So the higher of those two is this one. So 9124. Na hiyo imepatikana kwa node number 2. So you mark here. And therefore you advise that they go for price of shillings 350. Advise they go for the price of shillings 350. And as I have said, if they want to know the value of information, it will appear in 9124 minus 8730. That will be the value of information. After tulimaliza hiyo, what should we do next? So the next on the line is November 2017 question. Then proceed on and identify another one. It's not that. So, okay. November 2017 question 2B. November 2017 question 2B. Or we revised in class. So what do you do? Jane advice. So Jane, you can read for us. Okay, thank you, that's good. So NAIROBI method. So the method, the question is on forecasting methods. So NAIROBI method. We are told to use NAIROBI method. The format is y is equals to a plus b x. Y is equals to a plus bx. So you go and pick the highest values. The highest value of x of the machine hours is 48. So, and 48 is corresponding to a cost of 680. So 680 is equals to A plus 48B. Now this is the highest. This is the highest. Then we go to the lowest. The lowest of all is 26. 26 is corresponding to 500, which is equals to A plus 26B. And this is the lowest. The lowest. So I told you what to do. You simply subtract. Is the same question as May 2021. Question 2A. Good. That's what I wanted you to realize when I gave you the question. That these things are just repeated. Okay. So that being the case, let me finish this one. This is 180 is equals to 22B. And therefore, B should be 180 out of 22. 8.18. Oh, this one I remember some students telling me they do and remember the answers. You are getting it in class. It was part of the revision. So 680 is equal to A plus 48 times 8.18. So based on that, give me the value of A. Hmm? 287.27. So thus y is equal to 287.27. 127 plus 8.18x. So that is very good. Time is over. So what I suggest is that we look at the regression and we are on from there. So we call it a day at that point. We cut from there next time. Thank you.